Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Roofing Contractor, and welcome to our Best of Success podcast show. It's such an honor to have with me today my great friend, Duane Musser, who is the Vice President of Government Relations for the National Roofing Contractors Association. Duane, great to see you, and thanks so much for joining me.
Good to see you, Jill. It's great to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Well, there's a great event coming up that everybody needs to know about and put on their calendars. It is Roofing Day. So, Duane, what is Roofing Day and why should everybody attend?
Absolutely. Roofing Day in DC is our big annual advocacy event of the year. It's coming up right around the corner, April 14th and 15th. And registration is open until April 3rd. And so we are very excited to have people back this year. We're going to be at the Yotel Washington, D.C., that's the name of the hotel. And it's right out here on Capitol Hill. And everybody should come who's involved with the roofing industry. This is our opportunity to speak with one voice about the issues that are important to our industry, that are important to our future prosperity. And those issues are basically twofold. Number one, solutions to workforce shortages. We know workforce development issues have been, our biggest challenge in the roofing industry in recent years. And so we have two immigration reform bills that we're going to be focused on that has to deal with all the immigration debate. And then also we're going to be advocating for more career and technical education funding through what we call Perkins grants, which are grants that go from the federal to the state government for career and technical education efforts. And then also some workforce training legislation that is very bipartisan. And we hope to have also add to our tools for workforce development. So that's the workforce side. And then also, affordable housing has been a big issue in recent months. We have a huge shortage of residential units of affordable housing in the United States. And the roofing industry has a role to play in that debate. So we're going to be advocating for two bills that one would establish a federal tax credit to provide for the conversion of older, underutilized commercial building space to residential units. So therefore, you increase the supply of residential units of housing, and you bring the price down, or at least mitigate it from going up further. And then also, there's another bill that would basically provide again, a federal tax credit for establishing new new residential homes, and also revitalizing older homes to get the economy going in that sector, and again to add to the supply of housing. So that's going to be our focus. It's a great opportunity for everybody in the industry, whether you're a contractor, manufacturer, distributor, consultant, whatever role you play in the industry, you belong at Roofing Day in DC. And democracy is a participatory sport. We need people to show up to have good numbers. So we really
Yeah.
encourage everybody to attend.
No, absolutely. Wow, there's definitely a lot of takeaways. Well, over the years, though, Duane, what would you say? What's the biggest thing people say that they walk away with that they have learned from coming to Roofing Day?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. Number one, this really focuses you on how to be a good advocate for our industry at large and your company in particular. We see many different impacts. That's why NRCA has me and my colleagues here working on a full-time basis. The government, whether it's at the federal level here or the state level, has a lot of impacts on our business. This teaches you how to be an effective advocate for our industry and your company. And there's also the fact of, it also teaches you about how your government works on a day-to-day basis. You get to meet members of Congress and congressional staff back here on Capitol Hill. And see how they do their jobs, and that helps educate you on how to be a better advocate and protect against legislation we don't want, and support legislation that we do want, or regulations. And that can really pay dividends. And we see a lot of our people who come to Roofing Day, also they meet members of Congress. Then they also might go back and meet with them in their state or district office and really develop a relationship. And that's where we can really be effective in being advocates for our industry.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And I love how you guys have set it up because it's very simple to attend. Like, what's the cost to attend, Duane? What do people need to do?
The cost is very manageable. I mean, registration is $95 for company individuals, and then $30 for field workers, spouses, and students. We do encourage companies to bring field workers along with a manager or two. And so we have a differential pricing there. And then, of course, you have your hotel costs. And we do encourage people to sign up as soon as possible because the hotel rooms are going. And our registration deadline is April 3rd.
Right.
But so it's basically a minimal cost for registration and then your travel expenses.
So Duane, I'm so excited about what you guys have done with the bringing people together with the advocacy. And there's something that just happened in Mississippi. There was a group of roofing industry, I should say a coalition of roofing industry groups that defeated proposed legislation that would have mandated steep slope roofs on all new public buildings in Mississippi, which sounds superly like cuckoo crazy. But my question for you is, do you believe that the kind of activism that we've done at NRCA, has that helped directly impact that activism at the state level? And how is that all tied together? Because I really believe what you're doing at NRCA with Roofing Day has had a direct effect on the success at defeating this crazy legislation. How does that all?
Yes,
what do you think about that?
Yes, we were fortunate to be able to work with a coalition of all our partner associations within the roofing industry at the state level and other national manufacturer and consultant associations. And in this instance in Mississippi, and we also work with them on Roofing Day. Roofing Day is an industry-wide event. And so what you're seeing is as I mentioned before, one of the big great takeaways from Roofing Day, people who attend Roofing Day from our industry, they get really good advocacy training. And so they become good advocates for our industry and their companies. And so, yes, we're here for Roofing Day to lobby the federal government on our key issues that are before them. But we have all 50 states that have their governments that are, and in this instance, it was a bill that was very problematic for our industry that came out and was introduced in the Mississippi legislature. I think it was probably a situation where the sponsor of the bill really didn't understand our industry very well, but we were able to get in there, and the training that we received. We're aware that some of the people who were on the ground in Mississippi who were instrumental as a part of our coalition to defeat this have been to Roofing Day, and so they were able to use that advocacy skills to apply it in this situation, and we were able to defeat that. So yes, Roofing Day has application beyond Washington, D.C.
But before we close out, though, Duane, tell everybody, what's the website to sign up? Where do people go?
Yes. www.nrca.net/roofing day. www.nrca.net/roofing day. That has all the information on registration, has the itinerary, has the position papers on our issues that I talked about, our advocacy issues that I talked about a little bit ago, information on how to book your hotel. And the deadline is April 3rd. We might still get a few people in after that, but we want everybody to be registered by April 3rd, and then we'll be here. I look forward to seeing everybody April 14th and 15th.
Sounds great. Thanks so much, Duane. And if anybody has any questions for us, it is roofingcontractor.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, follow us on our social media channels, and we can't wait to see you in Roofing Day. Thanks so much, Duane.
Great. Thank you, Jill. Appreciate it.